carrying a camera, OP.
Congress needs to reinvent itself.
Mr. Modi is not Mr. Vajpayee.
We have with us Mr. Jairam Ramesh, a senior Congress leader and MP. Thank you so much for coming to PTI office and having this interaction with our editors. You have come at a very opportune time. We will start off with your comments on the arrest of Arvind Kejriwal.
At first it was Hemant Soren. Now it's Kejriwal. It's a deliberate political strategy on the part of PM party, certainly, to keep the opposition in a state of nervousness and perennially off the hook. I mean, not able to stabilize. And, frankly, the timing of Mr. Soren's arrest first, clearly the Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra getting into Jharkhand, timing of what these guys do is dictated by their need to really dominate the news cycle. So it is, news cycle management in a way.
The timing may be deliberate, it may be political, but the intention isn't that legitimate.
Look, where are the charges? I mean, I have not seen a charge sheet. I mean, this is a legitimate question that everybody can ask. What are the charges? Where are the charges? I can only take the example of what they did to these 5 activists. For 6 years, they kept them in jail. When finally they were released a couple of days ago, the Sai Baba and all these Barbara Rao and Sudha Bharadwaj and so on. So on the flimsiest of charges. And it's extraordinary that these guys arrest and then keep adding to the charges. It's not as if that there's a clear set of charges which necessitates custody and arrest. So it's as you go on, you keep manufacturing evidence. And in the case of the Elgar Parishad case, they were ultimately exposed by the high courts. So Aam Aadmi Party thing, clearly the Aam Aadmi Party coming with the Congress is a big threat to the BJP in Punjab, certainly a threat in Delhi, and neutralize the Chief Minister.
So what kind of support can Congress offer to Aam Aadmi Party?
Well, we can offer political support, we can offer moral support, and we are offering the greatest support we are offering is Abhishek Singhvi. He's appearing for, he's a congressman appearing for an Aam Aadmi Party leader. It's political support, Of course, Aam Aadmi Party was basically born as an anti-Congress protest 10 years ago, 12 years ago. But, things have changed since then. They're part of the alliance, they're part of the group. And so we have to stick with them. I mean, we have to stand up for them.
So is it right or Mr. Kejriwal's part to skip the ED summons? So is it correct strategy for him to?
Well, I mean, I'm not privy to the reasons why, but Mr. Gandhi went, he was asked 4 consecutive days and he spent a total of 55 hours being interrogated by the ED on the most flimsiest of cases. So, I mean, that's the call that Mr. Gandhi took. He subjected himself to 55 hours of interrogation. Mrs. Gandhi also went. I mean, I can't speak for the CM of Delhi, why he skipped. He must have had a reason for skipping, but I can't blame him for skipping. Because, frankly, the ED has lost all credibility. It's no longer a professional body which looks at the evidence. This is a body which manufactures evidence now and dances to the dictates of the big two. And I think the amendments that were made to the PMLA were draconian amendments. It gave them extraordinary powers. Of course, this is now being subject to Supreme Court review. All the parties have filed a petition asking for a review of the Supreme Court decision. Incidentally, many of the amendments to the PMLA came via the money bill route, which is held to be a fraud on the Constitution by no less a man than the current Chief Justice of India. He used the phrase fraud on the Constitution. Whatever the ET does, it's just not designed to inspire any confidence in its integrity. It's just The manner in which the previous incumbent was given repeated extensions smacked of favoritism. And finally, it required the Supreme Court to call a halt to the repeated cycle of extensions.
Is there a need to revamp the entire state leadership structure?
Andhra Pradesh, it has been revamped. It's been a generational shift. For the Congress, what has happened in Madhya Pradesh is a huge transformation. You have gone from a 70-year-old generation to we have now gone to a 50-year generation. Both the PCC chief and the CLP leader, completely different generation. Now, for the Congress to make that step, huge.
Will it be replicated in other states?
It was replicated in Rajasthan. And certainly replicated in Rajasthan. It's happened in Chhattisgarh. You got experienced faces. They are not new faces. The way it happened in Madhya Pradesh was completely new. And new in every sense. Chhattisgarh was new, but they had been around. Charandas Mahad has been around for many, many years. But in Rajasthan, newer leadership is coming into the fore. Telangana, of course, is a victory. So, but even in Telangana, you see the new guys who one of the reasons why we won in Telangana is actually a lot of new people who were projected. Our chief minister himself was a new person. He joined the Congress only 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago. So, that's that generational shift has to take place, no doubt about it. New faces. But, it's difficult in the Congress because people have been in the Congress for long. And it's easier for the BJP because, the BJP is a startup in many of these states. You look upon BJP as a startup. Congress is not a startup. Congress is a well-established company, whose market cap keeps fluctuating. But the BJP is a startup. So a startup is able to absorb a lot of people. No, the guy who doesn't get a ticket in the Congress goes and joins the BJP. So in many of these states, I would say, the Congress disadvantages that it's been entrenched for decades. And one of the disadvantages of being entrenched is you're not able to give opportunities to new people to come. But that's happening slowly. It's happening in a couple of states. It should happen faster. That's for sure.
What about at the central level? Do you think that there's a need that somebody else to give direction to the party?
We are the only party to have an elected president, yeah. I mean, bottom line, we are the only party to have an elected president. I think the party with a difference doesn't have an elected president. We are the only party we conducted an election.
They're not been doing too well. So they are.
I think generational shift is not at the center.
No, I think, we tend to ascribe far too much importance to individuals. I think processes are far more important. The Bible of Indian political science is a book by Rajni Kothari, Indian politics. And it's a classic book on Indian politics in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And one of the points that Rajni Kothari made in that book was that there was a Congress system. It was not Nehru, Patel, Pant, Chawar. No, they were important, but there was a Congress system. And that Congress system first got broken in 69 with the first split. Then it got broken in 78 with the second split. The system got weaker. Now, what is that Congress system? The first characteristic of the Congress system was its ability to negotiate different interest groups and provide them with a platform. That ability has weakened over the years. Second was the ability to manage conflicts at the local level. That has weakened over the last few years. So you can have all the charismatic leadership on the top, but if at the district level and at the block level and at the state level, you don't have these systems of mediation, systems of conflict management, systems of bringing people into the fold, then no individual is going to make a difference. I'm not a great believer in this charismatic leader business. Then 1-3 elections, forget the fact that he was there, freedom movement, because there was a Congress there was this procedure. There were Congress systems. There were leaders in the states. There were leaders in districts.
Well, I'm surprised you're saying that you don't believe in a charismatic leader concept, because you have Modi, who is one of the most
concept to believe in.
Maybe
It's a very dangerous concept, but that's why I don't believe in it. If I start believing in a dangerous, charismatic leader, then I'm automatically believing in a demagogue. I'm believing in a Mussolini. But it's not.
40% of the country believes in that.
I'm not so sure of that.
Maybe it's 35%, but
I'm not so sure of that. Out of the 36% vote share of the BJP or BJP NDA, from what little analysis I have done, at least 22 to 23% is organizational. At least 70% of what the support is organization. Is the organizational reach, is the organizational strength, the organizational capability. Mr. Modi, we have added a few percentage points.
So you don't think his charisma, his oratory are making a difference?
No. I think it's the organization that makes a huge difference. You can have all the charisma you want, but if you're not going to be able to translate that charisma on voting day, on the ballot day in the machine now, charisma is going to be of no use. Frankly, I think we shouldn't be chasing charisma. We should be chasing systems. That's what I feel.
You said the market cap of Congress fluctuates. I'm just wondering what will happen on June 4. Will the Congress hit a circuit breaker?
Good question. No, I mean, let's put it this way. The BJP is doing its damnedest to make sure that we hit the circuit breaker. They've frozen 8 of our accounts. They literally frozen 8 of our 11 accounts. We've not heard the last of it. I'm sure this will continue. They've reopened our books for 94, 95 now. And they're slapping fines on us for 94, 95. So they will, they will, I'm sure, target some leaders of the Congress party. After Kejriwal, there may be some others from the Congress whom they will target. The opponent we are facing today follows no rules, follows no convention, follows no tradition, and ruthless. It's a killer instinct.
Would you like to speculate the number?
I won't speculate numbers, but all I can tell you is that a party in 2003 which was written off, and when India was shining, became the single largest party 5 months later. So similar questions were raised in 2004. So I wouldn't put it past the realm of possibility that you will be in for a big surprise. However, let me tell you something. I was the only one who predicted 144 seats for the Congress party. I was the only one.
Won't this election be a fight for survival for Congress?
Yeah, I mean, many obituaries have been written of the Congress. Many times obituary writing is a favorite pastime for commentators. But the Congress will come back, I'm sure. This is not a... Look, who knows what's going to happen? I think the Congress is giving it all that it has, in spite of what's been happening over the last 1 month. But can't write off the Congress. I don't think you can write it off. I think it's too deeply ingrained. I've gone into those parts of India where Congress there is no MLA, no MP. We have no electoral presence. But we have Congress flags, we have Congress workers. And it's absolutely Gujarat. Take Gujarat as an example. Amongst the best responses the Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra got was in Gujarat, Maharashtra, where over the years our presence has been whittled down. Maharashtra.
That's great comfort, but how is that going to turn into votes?
Let's see. It depends on us, no?
Yes.
We have to translate that into votes. Western UP, the response we got in Western UP, Sambal, Amroha, Aligarh, Moradabad, Hathras, phenomenal.
It looks like you're sniffing a repeat of 2004. So in this context, I want to get into this India block, the experiment, if I may use the word. First edition, Patna looked well, the optics nice. One really thought there's a serious challenge. Second edition, Bangalore, Congress-ruled state, it looked all right. I mean, again, optics. Then third edition, Bombay. Then what happened? Where did the momentum go off? Or is it still will pose a strong challenge to the NDA?
Well, Mr. Nitish Kumar did a palti, no? So we had, up to the 19th of December, we were together. All 28 parties were together. But then Mr. Nitish Kumar did a somersault. And then Mamata Banerjee decided to be Mamata Banerjee. So, that's all. I mean, these are the two things that have happened.
So has the India bloc, bubble burst?
No. When is it burst? Our alliance with Aam Aadmi Party is intact. Our alliance with NCP, Shiv Sena is intact. Our alliance with DMK is intact. Our alliance with CPM and CPI is going to be finalized. It is already, people know that there is an alliance in West Bengal. We have 11-party alliance fighting the elections in Assam. So we have an alliance with Samajwadi Party. The fact that Nitish Kumar is not part of the India bloc does not mean that the India bloc has collapsed.
Will it add up to 272?
Yeah, I'm sure it will add up to 272. The only person, although she is fighting independently, but she has not said that she is not part of the India bloc. Mamata Banerjee has said, I'm part of the India bloc, so I'm fighting. So she's not seat sharing with us, but she's very much part of the India bloc.
So नीतीश के बाद अगर आप प्राइम मिनिस्टर कैंडिडेट इंडिया ब्लॉक कर देता तो आपको लगता है वो छोड़ के नहीं जाता?
देखिए, मैं बार बार कहा हूँ, मैं इसके पक्ष में नहीं हूँ कि हम इसको चुनाव बनाए इस व्यक्ति बनाम ये वक्त, ये नहीं है। तब अगर हम उस रास्ते में जाएंगे तो हम उनके ही पिच पर खेलेंगे, हमें हमारे पिच पे खेलना है।
Does Congress want to look beyond Rahul Gandhi?
He's there. He's leading the party. He's done a 4,000. Tell me which political leader in the country has walked 4,000 kilometers?
Why isn't he the president?
Really? He doesn't want to be president of the party. His politics is a different type of politics. His politics is the politics of movements. He wants to revitalize and re-strengthen the organization.
Has he been successful in doing that?
Well, I think he certainly the Bharat Jodo Yatra and this Yatra, he's been extraordinarily successful in infusing new energy into the organization, and all of you people have been forced to look upon him differently. I mean, if you look at the pre-Bharat Jodo Yatra commentary on him and the post-Bharat Jodo Yatra on him, it is now yes, but. The media and the commentariat. So the commentariat class has been forced to look upon him differently. So people spend more time thinking of what Rahul Gandhi is doing than I spend.
With 2024 elections round the corner, do you think that this yatra will have an impact?
Let me tell you, at the end of the Bharat Jodo Yatra, I never sat down and said, we won the yatra here because of the yatra, we lost here in spite of the yatra. It never entered my calculus. When the Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra was taking place, it never entered my mind or my calculation as to what the impact of the election is going to be. Never. That was not the intent. It just so happened that in Karnataka and Telangana, we won. But we also lost Madhya Pradesh. We lost in the areas where we traversed in Rajasthan. So you can sit down and do that. But in politics, it's very difficult, virtually impossible to establish causation. You can have correlation. That correlation is spurious, Two events are happening at the same time. You try to say one is the cause of the other. No. So I look upon it, I look upon the Yatra initiative. 1 and Yatra Initiative 2, what the Yatras did was give an opportunity for connectivity for the leader and collectivity for the organization. For the first time, all leaders came together, all groups came together, they participated in the Yatra. There was a sense of collectivity, collective enterprise. And for the leader who was leading the yatra, it gave him a new sense of connectivity to different groups. So I think that's what was missing in our organization.
Also, some of the allies were miffed during the course of the yatra. West
They all
Bengal is a
joined
case
the
in
yatra.
point.
They all joined the yatra.
West Bengal is a case in point.
No, she was miffed. I mean, it was very difficult to unmiff her, So it's she was miffed. I mean, she was miffed long before the yatra. She wouldn't, I mean, to be very honest with you, as long as we had Adil Ranjan Chaudhary in the yatra, you think she would be unmiffed? She would be miffed. Every leader joined the yatra. There was nobody who was not in the yatra. Everybody, except Mamata Banerjee. There were peculiar reasons, and those were reasons peculiar to West Bengal and peculiar to the chemistry that exists or doesn't exist between the Chief Minister and our President of the Congress Party in West Bengal. But UP, Maharashtra, everywhere, everybody came. So Jharkhand, another good example. Bihar, we had joint rallies in all these states.
Arvind Kejriwal is the second opposition chief minister to be in jail after Hemant Soren. So how does it impact the India alliance? And since the Prime Minister has been building a pitch, against corruption, against the opposition, so how does the opposition plan to counter this?
Well, the Chanda Do, Dhanda Lo is now becoming very obvious, no? That was not Hemant Soren, that was not Arvind Kejriwal, that's the BJP. It's Chanda Do, Dhanda Lo. And it's shameful that leading newspapers of this country did not have the courage to publish an advertisement. And I applaud those papers in Hindi and Punjabi and various other states which had the courage to publish our ad. All these great names of journalism did not have the courage to even publish that ad. So there is ample evidence to show that the corruption plank is a kokla plank as far as Mr. Modi is concerned. Look at the way the electoral bonds scheme has worked. 4,000 crores of bonds directly linked with 4 lakh crores worth of contracts. You look at the clear correlation between electoral bonds and the award of contracts. There's a BJP MP who gets a infrastructure projects and within 2 days buys electoral bond worth 50 crores or something. BJP MP. And he's one of the key BJP MPs in the upper house, in the Rajya Sabha.
How are you going to leverage this during the elections? Do you see this as an Achilles heel of the BJP?
It's an issue that we are trying to make, and I told you today, many newspapers chickened out of even publishing our advertisements. So we have to do it through the social media. We have to do it. I've put it out in the social media. We have to do it through our party workers. It's certainly one issue. I mean, to say that Mr. Modi is going to take the corruption plank and use Hemant Soren and Arvind Kejriwal as examples that I am fighting corruption is absolutely a bogus argument. Because you look at the whole electoral bond saga. It's a complete and clear case of quid pro quo.
But bonds also show that the same set of companies were.
Yes, they gave it to us also, 1,400 crores. But we didn't have RBI with CBI with us. We didn't have ED with us. We didn't have income tax with us. And who is awarding contract for the tunnel in Jammu and Kashmir? Who gave the order for the tunnel which collapsed in Uttarakhand? Who gave the contract? Navayuga. Who gave Navayuga the contract? Who gave Mega the contract? That's what we have shown. Today you will see the data. We have correlated with the data that was put up. You get the ID, then you can show which bond went to party. Yeah, Congress got 1,400 crores. No doubt about it. But look at the amount of money the BJP got. 8,200 crores, 8,300 crores. And directly linked 35 pharmaceutical companies. 35 pharmaceutical companies which are facing regulatory problems buy bonds worth 400 crores. And there is clear evidence that we have put out in the public domain which shows there are 30 companies against whom ED and CBI was used, and 330 crores worth of donations came from these 30 private companies. So it's true that Mr. Modi will use this Hemant Soren and Kejriwal and say, I'm cleaning up the system. But he's not cleaning up the system. Absolutely. Evidence shows is completely to the contrary.
उत्तर भारत और खासकर हिंदी भाषी राज्यों में जो राम मंदिर के नाम पर लहर है, राम लहर जिसको बीजेपी के लोग कह रहे हैं, उससे पार पाने के लिए, उसका मुकाबला करने के लिए कांग्रेस पार्टी और इंडिया गठबंधन की क्या रणनीति है? कैसे आप उससे
एक रणनीति नहीं हो सकती यार, कोई जादू की छड़ी नहीं है। हम दूसरा कोई लहर नहीं खड़ा कर सकते। हम काम कर सकते हैं, जनता के बीच में जा सकते हैं। ये 5 न्याय 25 गारंटी एक प्रयास है। भारत जोड़ो न्याय यात्रा के समय हमने 5 न्याय पहले से 14 जनवरी से 5 न्याय की बात की। उसके बाद जब इनॉग्रेशन हुआ 22 जनवरी के बाद हम लोगों ने बैठकर ये तय किया कि इस 5 न्याय को आगे ले जाने के लिए हमें और मुद्दे उठाने चाहिए। तो इस 5 न्याय के संदर्भ में हमने 25 गारंटियाँ की बात की, किसान न्याय, नारी न्याय, युवा न्याय, श्रमिक न्याय और हिस्सेदारी न्याय। तो वो एक रास्ता है कि असली मुद्दे क्या है जनता के। असली मुद्दे हैं बेरोजगारी, बढ़ती हुई आर्थिक विषमताएं, महंगाई, पेपर लीक। प्रयागराज में जब हम गए थे, जहाँ हमारा पार्टी संगठन नहीं है, कोई हमारा सांसद नहीं है, पार्षद नहीं है, कोई नहीं है, प्रयागराज में हमें लोग राम मंदिर की नहीं बात कर रहे थे, पेपर लीक की बात कर रहे थे। पेपर लीक ही मुद्दा था। जब हम रायबरेली गए, प्रतापगंज गए, वाराणसी गए, प्रयागराज गए, भदोही गए, सारे उत्तर प्रदेश में हम लोग आज जो 7 या 9 दिन हम लोग थे, कहीं किसी ने मुझे ये सवाल नहीं किया। सिर्फ पेपर लीक का सवाल उठाया जाता था। तो एक तरफ से उनके ओर से जरूर प्रयास होगा, उनकी रणनीति तो जरूर होगी कि राम मंदिर का मंत्र वो जपते रहें। मैं आपको वही कहूँगा जो राहुल गांधी ने 18 में कहा था एक प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में। उनसे यही पूछा गया कि क्या आप अमेठी से भाग रहे हैं, आप अमेठी से आप लड़ेंगे कि नहीं? तो उन्होंने यही जवाब दिया, मैं कांग्रेस का वफादार सिपाही हूँ, CEC कहेगा मैं लड़ूंगा।
बीजेपी में धारणा ये है कि राहुल गांधी इज देयर बिगेस्ट एसेट।
Rahul Gandhi is our asset. Rahul Gandhi is being relaunched. They are fixated on Rahul Gandhi, They're completely fixated on Rahul Gandhi because he's the only one who is talking against them. He's the only one who is exposing them day in and day out. He's the only one without किंतु परंतु, no if and but, सीधा निशाना किया है ना प्रधानमंत्री को। तो बार बार राहुल गांधी का नाम लेते रहते हैं।
Asking this because many of your senior leaders are also escaping contesting these elections. Be it Kamal Nath, Ashok Gehlot.
Kamal Nath is an MLA, yaar. He's an MLA. Why do you keep saying he's escaping? He's an MLA. He's an MLA and he's 79 years old. I don't understand why you're saying he's escaped. I mean, the fact that he's not contesting, you cannot say that he's escaping. He's already an MLA. I can understand him as an MP and he didn't want to contest. There were some people in 2014, sitting MPs, who admitted themselves into hospital and didn't contest. I don't have to tell you who they are. So, that I can agree. But to say that Ashok Gehlot is refusing to contest, Ashok Gehlot is an MLA, he's leading the Congress party in Rajasthan. He's saying Bhupesh Baghel. Bhupesh Baghel wants to contest because he feels that the next 5 years is not going to give him enough opportunities in Chhattisgarh. So, you will say tomorrow D.K. Shiv Kumar is not contesting. He's Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka. So, these leaders and all. This is again, this is one of these hawas that are propagated by this BJP machine, which gets repeated over and over again. I don't think there's been anybody who's been asked to contest amongst this group who has said, I'm not going to contest for some reason or the other. Last election, Mr. Digvijay Singh contested against Pragya Thakur. He contested against Pragya Thakur.
Since we're talking about Rahul's candidature, this narrative, Wayanad versus Trivandrum or Thiruvananthapuram. Now, the CPI on record is upset that Rahul is being fielded from Wayanad. Radha's wife is there. And Shashi Tharoor is a little upset that CPI is contesting from Thiruvananthapuram. He is worried will there be a vote split. This is kind of a dichotomy, But yeah.
There's no dichotomy. It's very clear. The India alliance is a nationwide alliance. It's a national alliance. It did not preclude state level contests at all. From day one, we knew that we have to fight the left front in Kerala. Our opponent is not the BJP in Kerala. Our opponent is the left front. The BJP might like to think that, they are a great force in Kerala. They're not. We are fighting the left front. And it was known from day one. One of the architects of the India Alliance was Mr. Sitaram Yechuri. And he is the one who gave this theory that, we will fight in our state capitals, but in New Delhi we will come together. So that is what we are doing. We are fighting the CPI. How can we abandon Kerala? How can we have a seat understanding with the left in Kerala? Tell me. Impossible. The day left becomes a weak force in Kerala, then this realm of possibility exists. Like, for example, 35 years ago, if you had asked me, or 30 or 25 years ago, if you had asked me, is an alliance between the Congress and the left possible in West Bengal? I would have said, are you out of your mind? But today we are having an alliance with the left in West Bengal. If you would ask me 25 years ago, are you going to have an alliance with the left in Tripura? I would have said, you're mad. But we are having an alliance in Tripura. Today, impossible to have an alliance or a seat understanding with the left in Kerala. Impossible. So we have to fight the left. But that's the nature of Kerala politics here. I mean, the two poles of Kerala politics, there's a Congress pole and there's a left pole. I am optimistic here. We have to keep at... See, the worst thing that we can do is to get into defeatism. And there is no greater defeatist than a congressman himself. He will go on saying all the negative things about the Congress. You have to be positive in your mind.